Where is our Secretary of State after a messy week of foreign policy? We are asking where and who is our current Secretary of State? Senate Showdown. Join us tonight as we break down the results from the Senate Class 2 election, and the purge has started. We will have the latest updates on the ongoing purge within LA throughout the show. All that and more starts right now. Good evening, everybody. Sorry for that technical difficulty we had there with our intro, but we'll get that fixed next episode. And welcome back to the Parker Jackson Show. As always, I am your host, Parker Jackson. Happy late St. Patrick's Day, and welcome back to the show after a 4-day hiatus. We were on spring break, so it's good to be back in the swing of things with all of you here on NBC. As you can see, we're in our new studio. I hope y'all like it. It took a while to make, so we hope you enjoy that. But tonight we're kicking off the show with breaking news out of Los Angeles. Just minutes ago, community management initiated a purge within our first city, and as of now, law enforcement services will be unavailable from 9:30 until midnight. Live on the ground right now is NBC News correspondent Sheev Palpatine. Good evening, Sheev.
Good evening, Parker.
I guess give us the overall rundown on what's going on the ground right now.
Well, Parker, there are a few Nazis running around. As you can see, Mr. National Security is wearing a horrible Adolf Hitler costume, and there's another person going around wearing a Nazi paraphernalia on his shirt. Right now, the purge is in full swing. The participation looks a little bit lackluster, though.
Very interesting. Have you seen any crime or shootings happening in the recent minutes that the purge has started?
Well, if you could hear in the background, there are shootings going on right now. It sounds like there's shooting going on at the bank. Oh, you could just see a few shots right behind me here.
Yes, indeed. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that. We have technical glitches there. But as far as what's going on now, is it very severe? What's the overall environment in Los Angeles as of now?
In all honesty, it looks like it's been the same Los Angeles. You just don't have any law enforcement running around right now.
Yeah, indeed. And thank you, She, for doing this coverage, and stay safe out there. We will be checking back in with you throughout our show and throughout the night here on MSNBC. So thank you very much.
Yep.
It's now time for the open tonight. And tonight we're focusing all about foreign policy. General Winters is our current Secretary of State, but I bet most of you have no clue who he is or what he's done for our country. Over the past week, there's been public outrage over the country's foreign policy and how it deals with other nations within our current United Nation. Just this week, Russia had made major advances on the United States, and President Biden and Secretary General Winters have done little to nothing, making our country look like a laughingstock to the rest of the international community. For example, Russia just this week leaked highly classified information on the current intelligence officers, exposing their identity and where they were stationed across the world. Junior operatives all the way up to executive directors of the Europe division were leaked by Russia to the public for everybody to see. Keep in mind, these are active individuals within our CIA who were leaked for the whole world to see. Concerning, right? Not only that, but this week the United Nations elected Russian foreign minister as the president of the General Assembly, beating out our very own NATO U.S. candidate, Versinia Otto. I don't know if I said that right, but oh well. After all this happened, in the past week, we've heard nothing from the current administration on any of these events. Along with that, this week, Islamic Republic of Iran announced that it had begun shelling American consulates throughout the Middle East after America took major blows in the international community from Russia and China. We reached out to Secretary of State General Winter for comment on these ongoing situations, and he responded saying, Iran will really regret this in the future, and we will not be taking this lightly either, and DSS will come back with all types of protection. But then again, that is very little answers to the current public that we deserve. Again, that statement was one of the worst statements I've ever been issued as a journalist here on the platform, and it just goes to show how incompetent our Secretary of State actually is. It's now time to ask the question, is our current presidential administration and State Department capable of making sure we are protected and respected within the international community? Or has the Vane administration checked out early and ready for a new Connors administration to come in and pick up the broken pieces the current administration left behind? And that's the open. We're going to take a quick break now, and when we come back, we're covering the latest on the purge, and we'll have the results of the new election results from the Senate. We'll be right back.
Make summer special at Days Inn. Save 15% when you stay 2 nights or more. At daysinn.com, you always get the lowest rates, guaranteed. And right now, you can save 15%. Save even more with a free daybreak breakfast. Plus, you can earn Wyndham Rewards points good for free nights, free flights, free gift cards, and more. Make summer special at Days Inn. Save 15%. Limited time offer. Book now at daysinn.com.
Thanks for bringing me with you guys today, Mr. and Mrs. Lopez.
Not a problem, Josh. Hey, you two. Check out all these camera views in my Silverado. I can see in front of me, behind me, on either side of me. And it has this cam, so I can see if there's any funny business going on. You see any funny business going on?
No, sir.
Let's have a great day.
The Chevy Silverado offers 8 cameras with up to 15 different views. Find new views, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Tracy, hurry up, it's starting.
Hang on, I'll be right there. Ooh, snacks.
Hey, Tracy, you can't say no to a classic.
No, I cannot.
Ooh, what's that?
Oh,
Can't hear you over this flaming hot crunch.
girl, you know wavy chips are way better for dipping.
Crispy, airy, tasty poppables. Stacks. I'm totally tubular.
Hey, Tracy.
Woo!
Ooh, girl.
Stacks.
Approximately half the salt, but definitely all the flavor.
I thought we talked about talking to the chips.
I can't help it. I love me some Lay's.
All right, I'm taking these.
Lay's. A little joy with every bag.
I got some late potato chips.
And welcome back to the Parker Jackson Show. As the current purge is 8 minutes, has started rather 8 minutes ago, we are cutting back to our correspondent on the ground, Chief Palpatine. Good evening, Chief.
Good evening, Parker. If you could see behind me here, the bank is currently getting robbed. You just missed Senator Pig 530 running out with a bag full of money. The purge is in full effect right now. There are gunfights going on at Spawn. It's hectic right now.
Now, Steve, I heard you were killed earlier. Give us a rundown of what happened there.
It was just some troll coming in with a gun, just spraying and praying.
As of now, do you know the current state of Los Angeles, how many people are participating in this purge?
I can't give you an accurate number right now, Parker. There has to be at least 20 people here.
All right, thank you, Sheev, and stay safe out there. We'll be cutting back into him in just a few seconds. But we're going to go turn now to our studio, our brand new studio here. I hope you guys are enjoying it. And we're going to break down the recent Senate elections that occurred last night, and the results were released. Joining me now is currently newly elected, Senator Zarda Vex and Lundus 01. Good evening, guys.
Howdy.
Good evening, Parker.
Yeah, so last night, there were 3 independents elected, 3 Federalists, and 1 Constitutionalist elected. Now, Zarda, we understand you were a part of one of those 3 from the independent ticket that were elected. We also did reach out to the Federal Election Commission, and we were, hang on, give me 1 second. Yeah, so sorry about that, guys. We reached out to the FEC, and they told us that 216 votes were cast. That was the unfiltered number. 25 votes did fail the filtering test, most likely to be bots, leaving 191 real votes. At this time, we're unable to disclose who the bots voted for, but Zarda, tell us about the election.
Yeah, and I don't mean to boast, but I really barely campaigned, and I still got 7th place. I think that really tells you the name recognition I have in this country. I'm sorry, the correspondent is currently fighting for his life right now. But I think that that gives you a sense of the name recognition and the support I have in this country. when I barely campaigned. I barely even DM'd to one person. I was barely in Los Angeles, but the people, they still trusted me. So I'm very grateful for this opportunity. And I caucused with the Federalists. Federalists currently have a majority of 1 seat, 11 to 10. Michael also caucused with the Federalists. I believe he was appointed. So right now the Federalists have the majority, but it's really close, and I don't vote by party lines. So yeah.
Yeah, indeed. And on the TV behind me, you can see the current layout of the Senate. Currently, the Federalists are in a major lead almost, beating out the Constitutionalists, and that's very interesting to look at. Now, Lundis, what is your perspective on these election results?
Well, Parker, I'm a Federalist. I recaucused from Republican to Federalist, in spite of the GOP being corrupt. There are many reasons I personally recaucused. I won't get into them tonight, but as you can see, most of my house has recaucused from Republican to Federalist due to the same reasons. As for the Senate, the American people have spoken. They voted for a majority of Federalists, and former independents and constitutionalists are also joining our cause, and I think it's great to see. So that's my.
Can y'all hear me? My Wi-Fi just cut. Hello? Okay,
all right, we're having some problems in the studio with Noob. We've S-locked the server now. Okay, go ahead and continue. Sorry about that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Lundis, go ahead and finish what you were saying.
Yeah, so I was just saying, that it's great to see so many senators getting elected as Federalists. It's so great to see all of my fellow House of Representative members recaucusing as Federalists. I think that this party shares the nation's common belief, and I'm looking forward to work with this newly elected Senate.
Yeah, indeed. Now, I guess both of you can respond to this. I mean, you see now that there are no current Republicans, even within the Senate. Do you think this will result in the death of the Republican Party?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the GOP made a lot of big mistakes. They tried to cast they tried to boost the support of their chairman, and a lot of us here on the Federalist caucus, we were Republican, but we've left because we can't stand to see such a cult-like following of the GOP's current chairman, and him taking the responsibility for all the work that many of us have put into making the party what it is. So yeah.
Yeah, and Zed and Zarda, how do you feel about the current state of the Republican Party?
Can you repeat that?
How do you feel about the current state of the Republican Party? Do you think it will die out as well?
The Republican Party has died. They have 0 seats in the Senate. I don't think they have much seats in the House. It's Const versus Federalists. Period. They're dead.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you guys for coming on. When we come back, we're going to get another check-in live with Chief Palpatine, who's on the ground during the Purge, and we're also going to wrap up the show with the rep. We'll be right back.
More Americans watch NBC News than any other news organization in the world.
Okay, this is a freezer, not a time capsule. Sometimes the house itself can tell you how a young homeowner is turning into their parents.
Not those two.
Yep, they're gone.
Forever?
Yep.
That there is Progressive's Home Quote Explorer website, where I compared home insurance rates.
We don't need to print the internet. Some are beyond help. I will give you $100 if you can tell me what this is.
Scotch egg.
It's a meatball.
Progressive can't help you from becoming your parents, but we can help you compare rates on home insurance with Home Quote Explorer.
We've got a lot of work to do.
It's Macy's One Day Sale Saturday with a Preview Day Friday with amazing deals of the day store-wide. Save on Style & Co. shorts and capris, only $19.99. Take 50% off clearance designer collections for him. Get these 3/4 carat total weight True Miracle diamond earrings, now 70% off. Save 50% on select swimwear for her. And all Fairfield Square Collection 8-piece bed ensembles, only $39.99. Macy's One Day Sale Saturday with a Preview Day Friday. Don't miss it.
Hi, Phil Swift here for Flex Tape Clear, the super strong waterproof tape that's clearly the best way to patch, bond, seal, and repair. Flex Tape's triple thick adhesive instantly bonds to the surface, stopping the toughest leaks while remaining virtually.
And welcome back to the Parker Jackson Show. Before we wrap up the show, I want to cut right back into with our correspondent on the ground, Sheev Palpatine. Sheev, what is the latest from the ground as of now?
Currently chaos here in Los Angeles. If you look behind me, there are gunfights ensuing. There are people all on the roof of the Ring of Fire. It's just pandemonium right now.
Yeah, indeed. Now, Sheev, has the crowds grown since last time we checked in with you?
If anything, the crowd has shrunken a little bit because the bank is currently all out and no one's here to reset it.
Very interesting report here.
If you look behind me, you can see a gun battle ensuing.
Yes, indeed. Now, how safe are the streets for the average American tonight during this purge?
They are not safe at all. I have been shot at multiple times here. I've had to defend myself. It is not safe whatsoever.
All right, thank you, Sheev, and we will be covering this later tonight on the show. All right, can you hear me? I'm sorry. Okay, sorry, I'm having technical issues tonight, everybody, so apologies on that, but it's time for final thoughts. So, Zarda, go ahead and give us your final thought of the night. You there, Zarda? Zarda, you there?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, quick final thoughts, because I have to make a complete fat dump. I think the violence we're seeing right now, I think it's going to be bring great activity to LA, and I fully support it. And Federalists have the Senate. That it's just a conclusion, but it's really close. And there's multiple Federalists, such as myself, who don't vote by party lines. So you won't see a Federalist sweep in terms of voting. But yes, they have the majority, and I look forward to accomplishing a lot with them.
Yeah, indeed. Now, Lundus, go ahead and give us your wrap for the night.
Yeah, I'm just glad that the Senate, we saw a Federalist win. We have a majority of both houses of Congress. I'm happy that a lot of my fellow representatives and members of government have decided to turn away from the GOP in spite of all that's happened. I mean, just the amount of corruption we're seeing from the chairman and the senior party leadership is crazy. I'm just glad that we're turning away from that. They're desperate now. The GOP is desperate for power. They DM'd me as like, in addition to every single member of the Federalist House caucus, to become Speaker of the House if they recaucused as Republican. It's just, they're very obviously desperate. They're hungry for power, and I'm glad that their party as a whole has shut down.
Yeah, indeed. And guys, my final thoughts tonight, I'm going to take a different approach tonight. I'm just going to say that as of now, the country is an embarrassment in its foreign policy sector. And I think that tonight, us as the citizens really need to be calling out the administration on how they have dealt with the foreign policy and everything that's gone on this week. So that's something that we need to keep our eye out for. And hopefully, just hopefully, they can get their act together so the ACOT administration does not take over a disastrous foreign policy sector. So everybody, that's the show for tonight. Happy late St. Patrick's Day. Michael Smith Reports is next, and we're going to leave you now with a live report or a live video feed of Sheev Palpatine on the ground. Good night.